Hello friends. In this video we are going to discuss about the territorial dispute between India and Nepal. In the recent past, various articles have been written in the Hindu newspaper. So that is why this topic becomes an important part of our UPSC civil service exam point of view. This topic falls under the events of international importance in the prelims sections and the GS mains paper 2 in the mains section. We will discuss this issue into four major heads. The first one is the context. In this head, we will learn about what is the current situation of this issue. Then we will bifurcate this dispute into two regions. The first one is Kalapani region dispute, which has its own historical perspective. And then we will look into both the countries' stand, that how both the countries uh, are claiming this region from their own perspective. Then we will discuss about the Susta region dispute. We will also discuss how both the countries are claiming this region and what are the legal dimensions surrounding around this issue. Then we will discuss about what should be the way forward, which tells us about how both the countries should resolve this issue. So let's look into the context. Recently, the Parliament of Nepal accepted its new political map, which claimed the region of Kalapani, which is a disputed region between India and Nepal. So let's go through the Kalapani region dispute. The dispute was started when the government of India bifurcated the Jammu and Kashmir into Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and issued a new political map. In this new political map, the Kalapani region was included in the state of Uttarakhand in Pithoragarh district. It was this time when Nepal first reacted against India and claimed Kalapani region as its own territory. The government of Nepal claimed this territory in accordance with the Treaty of Sugauli. So let's go through what are the provisions of this historical Treaty of Sugauli. The Treaty of Sugauli was signed after the end of Anglo-Nepal War 1816. This treaty was signed between East India Company from Indian side and Rajguru Gajraj Mishra with Chandrasekhar Upadhyay from the side of Nepal. After losing this war, Nepal lost Kumaon Gadwal region in the west, which are included in the present state of Uttarakhand, and Sikkim in the east. The most important provision of this treaty that it determined the western boundary of Nepal. So the river Kali was considered as the western boundary of Nepal. The land which falls on the side of east is to be considered part of Nepal, and the land which falls at the western part of this river is to be considered part of Indian territory. But this provision gave birth to a new issue, that is the origin of Kali river. तो अब देखते हैं कि नेपाल का क्लेम क्या है इस काला पानी रीजन के ऊपर. तो नेपाल का स्टैंड ये है that the Kali river originates from a mountain area that is known as Limpiadhura. So नेपाल के एक्सपर्ट्स का ये कहना है कि ये रिवर जो है वो लिम्पियाधुरा से निकल के काला पानी रीजन को मिलके फिर आगे बहती. So as per the provisions of this treaty, the Nepal claims the area which falls on the eastern side of this river as part of their territory. You can see this area highlighted in blue color, which Nepal claims as its own territory. Now let's look at what India stands on this issue. तो जब ये ट्रीटी साइन की गई थी उस टाइम पे उतनी एडवांस मैपिंग टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं थी. तो उस टाइम पे ये जो काला पानी का पॉइंट है उसी को काली रिवर का ओरिजिन पॉइंट माना गया था. मतलब कि उसके ईस्टर्न साइड पे जितनी भी टेरिटरी है वो नेपाल की हुई, एंड द टेरिटरी व्हिच फॉल्स ऑन द वेस्टर्न साइड्स आर कंप्लीटली कंट्रोल्ड बाय इंडिया. That is why, according to the provisions of this treaty, India claims this disputed area as its own territory. अब देखते हैं इंडिया ने इस टेरिटरी को क्लेम करने के लिए कौन से स्टेप लिए हैं. So when in 1981 China reopened this Lipu Lake Pass, which forms an important part of Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage. So since 1981, this Lipulekh Pass has been used for the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage. Very recently, the Government of India inaugurated Lipulekh Pass motorable road that cuts total 6 days for the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage. Also in 2015, India signed a trade agreement with China. There was a provision in this agreement to use this Lipulekh Pass for the interstate trade and commerce. This trade agreement was signed without consulting Nepal, and it was this time when anti-Indian sentiment started developing in Nepal in 2015. So now let us see what was the reaction of Nepal. When the new political map of India was released, masked and anti-Indian sentiment was seen among the Nepali people. Nepal also released its new political map and included Kalapani region in its own map. And this map was recently passed by the Nepal parliament. So let's see what are the issues which are involved in this dispute which might affect India's bilateral ties with Nepal. It is clearly seen that Nepal is trying to make this Lipulekh Pass a disputed tri-junction between the India, Nepal and China. This issue can also be seen from a Chinese angle, as we can see that the current ruling party of Nepal, that is Nepal Communist Party, is gradually tilting towards Chinese diplomacy. And since India is having free trade movement and free people to people movement with Nepal, so level of distrust for India might harm both the countries. So recently जब नेपाल ने अपना नया पॉलिटिकल मैप रिलीज किया तो उसके अंदर ये सूस्ता रीजन जो है वो भी इंक्लूडेड था. सूस्ता रीजन इज लोकेटेड नियर द वेस्ट चंपारण डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश and it is the second region which is disputed between India and Nepal. The reason behind this dispute is the shifting of course of the Gandak River. Please note that Gandak River is known as Narayani River in Nepal. It was also mentioned in the Treaty of Sugauli that the Gandak River will form boundary between India and Nepal. The course of the river, which is shown in this map, is the current course of this river. When the treaty was signed, this river was tend to be flowing like this. But in due course of time, the river changed its flow to what is seen in this picture. So now the question is how to decide whether this Susta region is a part of Indian territory or Nepalese territory. So there are various legal dimensions which are surrounding around this issue. So a set of law known as International Law on Transboundary Water Dispute is having two principles to determine international boundary based on water bodies. The first principle is avulsion. Avulsion का मतलब ये होता है कि जब कोई वाटर बॉडी अपना जो पूरा कोर्स है वो किसी सडन नेचुरल मूवमेंट से चेंज कर दे, इफ अ वाटर बॉडी इज पुश्ड बैक by a sudden change or any natural phenomena, then the principle of avulsion is applicable here. और दूसरा प्रिंसिपल जो है उसका नाम है एक्रीशन. एक्रीशन का मतलब ये होता है कि जब किसी वाटर बॉडी के अंदर ग्रेजुअल चेंज आता है, then the principle of accretion is applicable here. So when a water body shifts its flow by a gradual or slow speed, so the principle of accretion is applicable here. अब इस इश्यू के ऊपर अंतरराष्ट्रीय कानून ये कहता है कि अगर प्रिंसिपल ऑफ एवल्जन के द्वारा वाटर बॉडी के अंदर कोई चेंजेस होते हैं तब दोनों कंट्री के बीच में जो बाउंड्री है वो चेंज नहीं होगी. बट अगर प्रिंसिपल ऑफ एक्रीशन के द्वारा अगर वाटर बॉडी के अंदर कुछ चेंजेस आते हैं तो दोनों कंट्री के बीच की जो इंटरनेशनल बाउंड्री है वो भी चेंज हो जाती है. अब गंडक रिवर का जो कोर्स है वो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ एक्रीशन के बेसिस पे चेंज हुआ है. दैट मींस इंडिया कैन लीगली क्लेम दिस सुस्ता रिवर, सुस्ता रीजन which is located on the eastern side of this river. So India ने इस issue को peacefully resolve करने की कोशिश की, but this issue is used as a tool to create an anti-Indian sentiment in the Nepal, and that is why Nepal refused to any peaceful talks with India. As we all know that India is having friendly relation with Nepal since independence, so the India should guide Nepal to go towards more inclusive democracy. Also, currently we are facing off with China with border dispute at Ladakh and Sikkim. So we can't afford to fight with two countries at a time. It should also be noted that free border movement with Nepal is having an important strategic relevance for India's national security, as many a times it was seen that terrorists are entering into India through this route. And due to this friendly relation with Nepal, around 6 to 8 million Nepali citizens are currently living in India. Therefore, any thoughtless erosion of this centuries old togetherness may prove difficult for both the countries. So thanks for watching. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया तो इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए और यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम से रिलेटेड और भी वीडियोस देखने के लिए इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए।